Welcome and thanks for tuning in. This video aims to clarify what it means to take Collaborative Design Studio 4 and 5. I'll introduce you to the thematic established for Semester 1 and I'll go over some practical aspects for 2022. All design projects are collaborative to some degree. Designers collaborate with clients, community, users, viewers, environments, ecosystems, key stakeholders, and other designers. In this studio, you will develop your collaborative design language and skills to create briefs, negotiate preferred features of design products, co-design with users, and test outcomes. Bettering our skills in collaboration is vital, as our work always sits in relation to other people, things, and places. In collaborative design at MARTA, we are driven by purpose rather than discipline, object, service, or experience. We use the term design in a transdisciplinary way. We understand that collaboration is characterized by working with others. We use creative and participatory methods to explore social challenges. We develop appropriate design outcomes that are mutually beneficial for all the stakeholders involved. In Collaborative Design 4 and 5, students will respond to real-world challenges in partnership with a Monash research lab and industry partner. Students in this unit will discover how co-creation can be used to enrich design processes or be used as a way to design. Collaboration is characterized by working with others. Design is the conception and realization of new things. So collaborative design is about working with others to design a thing. Sometimes you'll hear the term co-design, and this definitely relates to what we do in this unit, but it's not exclusively about co-design. You will continue to build your capabilities as a designer as you would in spatial, communication, or industrial design. What's distinct to this stream is that we amplify collaboration, practicing creative ways to bring people and ideas together. In most of our course studios, you find skill-based components. Say, in industrial design, this may have been something to do with prototyping, or communication designers may have looked at design for motion. In collaborative design, we look at how we might foster better collaboration through tangible make tools, conversations, and through how we position ourselves. Focusing on purpose rather than outcome may result in your practice extending to emerging design fields like design for transformation or service design. You might find you work on your own project or partner with peers to form a multidisciplinary team. In collaborative design, we accept there is a multiplicity of ways. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. It's a practice of communication, collaboration, and negotiation. Associate Professor Leah Heath is someone you'll meet in collaborative design, and at an advanced level, her practice is an excellent example of how someone can practice as a collaborative designer. Her design practice traverses device, service, and experience. Her process is deeply collaborative, working with experts from nanotechnology, engineering, and health services through to manufacturing. A central part of her practice is facilitating design thinking workshops using the tactile tools methodology. Tactile tools are a co-design method, and they've been used by over 250 professionals from healthcare, engineering, education, and government to iteratively solve complex problems. Project outcomes are the result of this highly collaborative process. Depicted here is Facet, which is the first modular self-fit hearing aid. Leah designed it with Blamey Saunders' ears, and in 2018, Facet received the 2018 Good Design Award. To many practitioners, collaborative design literally means co-design, but for others, such as the Australian Centre for Social Innovation, the co in co-design stands for community or conversation. Collaborative design can be interpreted in multiple ways, and that's okay, providing we're clear with how we use it and articulate it. Learning when and how it's used will be part of the work we do together next year. On graduation, you'll be able to notice, cultivate, and explain how specialising in collaborative design sets you apart from somebody else. There is widespread acknowledgement that the disciplines of design are transforming from a focus on the object to a focus on purpose of designing. This doesn't mean traditional design disciplines are becoming obsolete. It just means they sit in relation to emerging fields of design. At an education level, we'll still have students in communication, industrial and spatial design, but we've opened this new pathway to enable students to focus on how design more broadly might address complex social challenges. A common thread between co-design and what we'll be doing is that we'll practice in ways that share power, are respectful and inclusive. Both are about bringing together people and professionals to jointly make decisions which are informed by each other's expertise. Collaborative design is inclusive but not exclusively co-design. Our theme for Semester 1 is Design for Care. The thematic for Semester 2 won't be decided until we've all had a chance to meet, as I'd like you to have some say in this. You'll respond to a real-world challenge in partnership with Design Health CoLab and Cabrini Ashwood Residential Aged Care. We each have our own experiences of ageing and aged care. For me, aged care in particular sends a shudder down my spine, but a pre-recorded video isn't the space to unpack this. Some of you might share similar feelings, but try to remember that all things sit on a spectrum. Iris Apfel at 100 years of age demonstrates that glam isn't defined by age. Things can be dull or fabulous, certain or uncertain, and sometimes a bit of both. So within the bounds of the theme, you'll be able to establish your own purpose in response to the research Design Health CoLab shares with us. So you might design for communication, transformation, memory, well-being, service, health, community, mobility, awareness, experience, transition, connection, celebration, intervention, interaction, or design for spaces. I'll run through some precedents at speed, just to give you a sense of the thematic's breadth. The first cluster are from the New Old exhibition, which was about designing for our future selves. The exhibition looked at how we can help people lead fuller, healthier and more rewarding lives into old age, asking the question, how can designers meet the challenge of a rapidly aging society? From robotic clothing to driverless cars, the exhibition rethought how design approached aging. The exhibition was organised into 6 sections: aging, identity, home, community, working, and mobility. Each section featured a special design commission by a leading designer or design team, creating new solutions for demographic change as well as addressing the challenges of ages. The exhibition examined how innovation and design can reimagine how we live together in the later stages of our lives. Responses were varied. In this case, the work looks at the communication around fashion, sex, and aging, and it establishes a discourse around how the elderly are represented and or perceived by society. On the left, we see dimensional data visualization responses, and on the right, we see shoes designed to help those with Parkinson's disease walk, products that enhance mobility, and in this case, it's a scooter for life. This example is a wearable garment that is jam-packed with tech. It essentially acts as a second supportive skin. The small electronic muscles allow the suit to provide suitable, individualized support to the user, responding to and assisting with motions like standing up, sitting down, balance, and general mobility. We see spatial solutions with this amazing apartment with amazing service, through to the museum commissioning a rebrand of Old Age. The brand draws parallels with the wine and spirits industries, as in that context, old equals better. The brand of bottled fine aged spirits sells the benefits of aging, such as depth, wisdom, and experience. I've deliberately included examples that demonstrate how design can shift experiences, services, and contribute positively to the physical and non-physical spaces, such as one's emotional well-being. Some precedents closer to home, we've got Dr. Canva Naher. He wanted to develop a non-medicinal intervention that improves the quality of lives of people living with dementia, as well as their caregivers and family members. Many years ago, I worked at a communication design studio called Hofstede Design. We worked on a pro bono project for the residents of an aged care home run by Benetas. We collaborated with a photographer, writer, and the residents to create a calendar which shared 12 different resident stories. Weavers is a service that was designed to help carers. It offers personalised and flexible one-to-one peer support for carers for someone who has been a carer. And there's some great things you can listen to. In the PDF, you'll find a link to a story about a Dutch nursing home that lets students live for free, links to a range of videos that talk about design for the elderly. We'll look at the thematic in more detail next year, but you won't be handed the theme and left to your own devices. Design Health Collab, through their living lab work at Cabrini, have already established a number of challenges, some of which I discussed with Professor Daphne Flynn recently. What are the days and weeks, months and years punctuated by? How might we design spaces so that they feel more homely? What would happen if residents created their own day? And how might we connect residents and family during the pandemic? Moving on to some practical aspects for next year. So in this unit, you'll be practicing collaborative design and articulating what that means. It might mean that you continue to develop your specialization or shift your practice towards something like service design. Both are valid. I'd like to ensure you have access to tutors from a range of backgrounds, and I've built a dedicated space for this. Each week we'll have on-campus sessions and online sessions. These sessions will enable us to cover content which doesn't rely so much on being in the physical space together. Students overseas will be able to dial in, of course, but for one session a week, we'll all be in the same spot. But we can always customize this as we go. That's one thing about collaborative designers. We're incredibly agile and good at responding to the needs of others. The gradient block of time on the previous page indicated this dynamic class block, which will allow our partners to work with us directly or tutors from specific areas to be involved. I'm currently working with the program directors to establish ways where you can continue building specific skills such as modelling or interaction. This will help should you wish to continue developing your disciplinary expertise in addition to your skills in collaboration. Graduates of collaborative design will possess a range of blended and transferable skills, setting them up for traditional design careers or working at the emergent forefront of design. You'll be able to situate yourself in areas and industries that interest you most. Our graduates will join established design practice, be a designer in a larger context such as government, health, etc., or follow an entrepreneurial path. In the recent report, The Future of Jobs, the World Economic Forum determined that the top skills highly valued by future employers include creativity, critical thinking, and complex problem solving. By custom creating your own combination of design skills, a Bachelor of Collaborative Design enables you to gain those skills, becoming an outstanding collaborator, critical thinker, and problem solver. It's a highly appealing and transferable combination that will ensure you're equipped to take on traditional design careers as well as future careers that haven't yet been imagined. And if you have any questions or want to make a time to meet, feel free to get in touch with me. Thank you.